Okay, so it's time for another Universal horror movie, and this time it's Werewolf in London, which it might be easy to make fun of since it's not as iconic as the rest.
It being released May 13th, 1935, it being Universal's first werewolf movie, coming out before The Wolfman. So, this movie isn't as celebrated as that movie because, it's The Wolfman. And I didn't even know about this movie for a long time because The Wolfman did much better and people kind of forget about this movie.
And since I didn't know about this movie for a long ass time, maybe it might be easier to make fun of. Or it might be way more difficult because it's so average. Let's get into the movie.
So anyway, the movie begins with credits, of course, as we go to Tibet, where Dr. Wilfred is looking for a strange flower, but the man there talking tells him they're stupid for going looking for the flower.
Especially at nighttime. I mean, if it was daytime, you'd probably be fine, but since it's nighttime, you're fucking screwed.
So anyway, he does find the flower, but something comes out of the shadows and bites him.
And sadly, it's only able to bite him, which is worse than death, since this way you become a werewolf.
But at least he has a flower, as they still need to bloom, but Wilfred's having a party upstairs, so he needs to attend to that, as there's a Venus flytrap up there.
Hey, here's a suggestion. Get your face really close to that thing. I swear, nothing will happen.
As Wilfred meets an old friend of his wife who,
He proposed to her once. When I was 6, and he was 12.
Oh yeah, great job making the situation more awkward.
So anyway, Wilfred meets Dr. Yugami, a man that he met in Tibet briefly in the dark.
Oh wow, that's subtle.
But anyway, he asks about the plant if they really make the plant bloom, so he's just putting it under moonlight, as they speak about the werewolf as a creature that isn't man nor wolf, as he says a bite from a werewolf can turn you into a werewolf.
And there isn't a cure for being a werewolf, or well, except for death, but yeah, that means he's definitely screwed.
As he gets proof that he's probably a werewolf when he sees that under artificial moonlight, his hand turns hairy.
But that's no different than usual. That's just how his hand looks when it's not shaved.
So anyway, Yugami goes back to see Wilfred as he still doesn't believe that he's a werewolf.
Because like I said, he's just a naturally hairy man.
As he says that if they were to use those plants, they'd be able to save lives for at least tonight.
But I thought you said the Mariphasa was a cure. No. An antidote. Effective only for a few hours.
Wait, if you were to let him study the plant more, then it's possible that he could find a... Wait, if you were to let him study the flower more, it's possible that he could find a permanent cure with it. I mean, my suggestion is to just wait, since this way you'll kill less people.
But anyway, during that night, Wilfred chills at home as he begins to turn into a werewolf.
And the werewolf effects still look good. I mean, not as good as the Wolfman, but it still looks good.
But unlucky for him, that bastard Yugami stole all the flowers.
Damn it, dude, didn't I tell you that you could possibly get cured if you wait for him to study the flower, you dumbass? Just be patient!
And now that Wilfred is the wolf, he needs to eat, as there's a party that's a woman drunk, and she's the perfect meal.
But he does not kill her, because, yeah, if he was, he'd have to deal with more people, which, he's introverted, so I doubt that he would want to do that.
As she tells others of the thing that she saw, as Wilfred goes to eat someone else.
Who probably should have ran away earlier when she saw that the dude looked like that.
As Dr. Yugami sees in the paper that the woman is dead, as he still has some of the flowers.
Which, I mean, dude, you could have shared. I mean, if you did, it would be possible for him to find a cure and not have to kill anybody at the same time.
As the police are investigating the murder, them thinking that the drunk lady actually saw something, as one of them thinks that it's a werewolf.
Hey, you already had a vampire and his daughter, which canonically happened right after, so it's not that far-fetched.
As Wilfred is feeling terrible about what happened, as his wife wants to go out in the moonlight, as he ups his security in his lab.
And it probably won't do very much since he only has like one guy guarding it, and if Yugami is already wolfed out when he's trying to get the cure, then yeah, he's screwed.
As Wilfred goes outside to tell his wife that he can't go, and he also tells her that she can't go, as she just thinks that he's jealous.
I forbid it, you hear? I forbid it.
Forbid it?
I can't have my wife gallivanting around the country in the moonlight with a total stranger.
So she's just gonna do it anyway. I mean, this is pretty much his fault since he sounds jealous.
As Wilfred actually goes to a bar where he gets a room from some old hags.
And to be honest, these two are probably the most entertaining part of the movie since, yeah, it isn't that difficult to be so since the movie's kind of mediocre. But, the scenes aren't that important, so sadly I'll have to skip over them.
As Wilfred goes out to find a tramp that's sleeping with another person's husband, so he's gonna eat her.
And I will say that I do like the shot of him being in the background and just waiting to pounce at her. And sadly, he only kills the tramp, which, yeah, I wish he would have killed both, since they're both pretty terrible people. But if he's only going to kill one, I think it would be a little bit better to kill the cheater, since he's arguably worse.
As Wilfred gets back, as the hags are curious about Wilfred, so they smash a peek to see that Wilfred is still wolfed out.
And like I said, these scenes are entertaining, but yeah, I doubt anyone noticed if I skipped them, because they're not very important.
However, Yugami tells the cops that they have a werewolf in London, as the next night, Wilfred tells this dude to lock him inside here.
Which may have worked, if he didn't have bad luck.
As he hears Paul saying that he loves his wife, so he's pissed, so he breaks out of the bar and attacks him.
Even though werewolves are supposed to go after the things they love, but I guess if you piss them off enough, they'll go after you instead.
But luckily, he's easily able to get away, as Paul knows that Wilfred is the wolf, as the next night, he finds Yugami going after his plant, so he kills him.
You know what? That was a terrible idea to use the plant, since now that you can't use it, he can turn into a werewolf and kill you, and you can't wolf out, so you're screwed.
As even though he already killed someone tonight, he's gonna go try to kill someone else, because why not? As he's gonna kill his wife, but he's shot.
And I don't think that was a silver bullet. I mean, it could have been, I don't know, but I think this is before Universal started to use the silver weakness for werewolf, so technically, even though Dracula is very nerfed in the series, he's still more difficult to kill than this asshole, since he just dies from getting shot.
I couldn't have made you happier.
Which, look on the bright side, at least Paul's enjoying this.
In my report, I shall say that I shot him by accident while he was trying to protect his wife.
Oh, well, that's nice. Of course, if you do that, then yeah, you might get demoted, but at least people won't hate Wilfred. Okay, so that was Werewolf in London, and it's okay.
To be honest, this movie is so average, I don't have much to say about it. I mean, it's not bad at all. This movie is actually really important. It's the reason why The Wolfman is so good, but it's really only average, and I'm having a hard time coming up with jokes for this video because it's just so average, and I can't make fun of it, even compared to other fucking Universal horror movies, which are really difficult to make fun of. I still like the werewolf effects, not as good as Wolfman, but it's still looking pretty good. And it being about a man trying to use a flower as temporary cures, interesting, even though he probably should have been looking for a permanent cure instead, but, well, I do like this movie, but it's just really average, so I'm giving Werewolf of London a 3 out of 5.
Okay, good. Now that that's over, I'm gonna go watch an entertaining movie that I can actually make fun of. So, see you later.